Welcome to Today. I'm your host, Cameron Bowden, recapping the biggest headlines from across the world in a quick 2 minutes. Starting off in Georgia, where a military base, Fort Stewart, reports that 5 soldiers were shot today during an active shooter incident. The suspect, an Army sergeant, according to U.S. officials, opened fire and caused one of the largest U.S. bases to go into lockdown. This active shooter threat is the latest on a military installation, raising concerns about the safety and security of armed forces in American bases. President Donald Trump says that he plans to meet with both Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, that according to White House sources. This comes as U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff met with the Russian president today to try and establish a permanent end to the Russia-Ukrainian conflict. The White House has announced that Apple plans to invest an additional $100 million in U.S. manufacturing, bringing the company's total contributions to $600 million. In recent months, President Trump has criticized Apple for trying to skirt tariffs by moving manufacturing to India, which now has a 50% tariff rate fast approaching on tonight's deadline. Texas Democratic state representatives have fled their state to avoid a Republican House voting in support of new gerrymandered congressional maps, one that is expected to win Republicans an additional 5 seats in the U.S. House. Democratic politicians across the U.S. have embraced this move, including Governors J.B. Pritzker, Kathy Hochul, and Gavin Newsom. Texas Governor Greg Abbott supported a move by State House Speaker Dustin Burrows to issue arrest warrants for those representatives who refused to attend the special legislative session. A mosquito-borne virus known as the Chikungunya Virus is making headlines after China recorded more than 7,000 cases. Authorities have taken new efforts to curb the spread of the disease, which causes fever and joint pain, and most who contract this disease will recover within the week. And finally, some sports news for this Wednesday. Major League Baseball will call the first female umpire up for duty this weekend during a game between the Miami Marlins and the Atlanta Braves. Jen Paywall will be the 5th umpire to debut this year and work spring training games back in 2024. The MLB's move comes 28 years after the NBA, 10 years after the NFL, and 3 years after the Men's World Cup, all where women officials have stepped into roles. And that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.